These are the top spookiest games on Roblox to play on Halloween, starting with Faithless is a horror game where you play as a priest and your task is to save Billy, who's been possessed by the devil. The atmosphere is definitely one of the highlights of the games as you play through the story, unlocking doors and solving some light puzzles, culminating in a game-like event to save Billy from possession. Though I think it does stumble a bit in certain areas, like using the cross to whack things, which left me quite annoyed with the constant sound effects. Okay, my lord. But overall, it's worth playing through at least once with some scary themes that'll probably be too scary for some folks out there. In Spectre 2, you are an investigator hired to identify the ghosts haunting these homes, and it is your task to complete various objectives with the goal of identifying the type and name of the ghost in order to get the highest score possible. There are some frustrating elements like, why is my guy walking so slow? I wish I was a little faster, but this game is definitely spooky with plenty of jump scares and atmosphere. What? Ah! The goal of identifying the ghost while trying to avoid these scary entities makes for a fun game experience. In Sorrow, you play as a father on a family vacation on an island when the power goes out in the town. And as you play through the story, uncovering more of its secrets and mysteries, you'll find that it's actually not a bad game. There are some elements of the game that can definitely be improved upon, such as the hand holding that I get to help me progress through the story, though, it's appreciated. In my opinion, it wasn't necessary. It's also very glitchy, which had some hilarious moments. The biggest plus to this game is the main baddie, the main entity. The sound design and being stalked through the hallways definitely left me feeling the dread and fear that I felt from other games that are further up the list, so stick around for those. Oh, yep. Nanny puts you into either the role of a baby or the nanny who may or may not have kidnapped these babies, but look at this guy. Would you want him watching your kids? In your role of the baby, you're trying to escape various locations while trying to avoid the nanny, and as the nanny, you're trying to do your job, trying to capture these babies and making sure that they go straight to bed. What happened? I can scream. This has a fun party game vibe, and honestly, it's a lot of fun. It's not so much that it's scary, but it does fall into the spooky category with its dark themes. In Dead Silence, you or a group of players investigate the legend of Mary S., exploring the tunnels of a subway and an office building where you are stalked by supernatural beings. The scares and atmosphere is really well done. The puzzles are not too complicated, but enough to make the game fun to play while delivering on the scares and atmosphere. Yep. Okay. It's Michael Jackson. Though some of the gore doesn't really make sense to me, I think overall the vibe of this game is just amazing. Before Truth, Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 is perhaps one of the scariest games on the list. The puzzle elements of this game is intuitive, it makes sense, and is overall just fun to play. Chapter 2 really picks up with more puzzles, but even scarier moments. What is that? But the story in this, I think, is the highlight of the game. It definitely doesn't hold your hand and is generally short enough to progress you through the game. Now, this definitely would be higher on the list, but I think it gets beat out from these next games. Jim's Computer puts you into the role of, Jim and his shopping addiction. Now, I don't want to spoil anything for this game if you haven't played it, but what I liked most was the atmosphere. There was definitely multiple times that I got goosebumps as I played more and more. It's nighttime. It's the second night. The downside, I wish there was more to this. Maybe more chapters. It's well worth playing, so I think definitely check this out. Rainbow Friends puts you as part of a group of classmates that get sidetracked from a class field trip into a nightmarish hellscape, pitting you against Blue and his friends as you try to escape without getting caught. Now, what I liked about this game is that you're both working with and competing against your classmates as you try to complete various tasks, finding missing items throughout this maze-like areas that are different enough to be interesting. Really, there's not any downsides to this game. It's a lot of fun. I love this game. The Mimic has to be, I swear, the most cursed game on Roblox. This game will give you nightmares. Chapter 1 alone is enough to make you quit as you explore an ancient Japanese hotel that is haunted by the most scariest entity. Look at this thing. Oh my god! nightmares. There's so much to like about this game: the level of difficulty, the atmosphere, the absolute scariness of the monsters, the sound effects. It's honestly the scariest game on Roblox, and it doesn't hold your hand. Kids, don't play this game unless you want nightmares. Now, I admit I have not completed this game. It does slow down a bit in chapters 2 and 3 as you explore a wider area, but it does have so much mystery that it drives you to explore more of the game. Comment down in the comments if you want to see me play this game to completion, but it's just way too scary. I'd rather play this next game than to play this game again. Roblox doors put you into the role of someone that's staying the night in a haunted hotel, but with each room that you enter, the scarier it gets. Each entity indoors has the power to severely damage you or kill you in one hit, forcing you to start over from the very beginning with the goal of reaching the 100th door. Now, what I liked about this game is the atmosphere, the sound effects, and the entity design with an arcade-like experience and high replayability, as each subsequent death lends to a steep learning curve. Just when you think you can reach the 100th door, what is that? The game will just beat you down and teach you the mistakes you have made. There's one downside. I'm not a fan of having to track down these keys that tend to slow the game down, but overall, with the constant updates and replayability, this game is perhaps one of the best games on Roblox and is #1 on my list. Now, we can't complete this list without mentioning the following horror games, but it just didn't make the top 10 list. Geisha, this game I think is worth playing once, but unfortunately, it just didn't make the top 10 for me. I did like chapter 1, though there are some elements here that I'm not really a fan of. As you might have gotten in the previous games, I'm not a fan of mazes, and again, this is my personal list if you are a fan of this game, but overall, it's just not for me. Elmira, I think, is worth playing if you're looking for an experience, but again, I'm not a fan of mazes, so Shrek Backrooms, I've honestly played this once. If you're probably seeing a pattern here, I'm not a fan of mazes, definitely feeling a mouse at this point. Apeirophobia definitely has its moments, but it, to me, is just way too long. Honestly, I would not have completed this game unless I had someone with me who has, but I'm just not a fan of big, large mazes that take forever to complete, so definitely not on my list. Well, I hope you guys like this video. If you want to see more, let me know in the comments. If you want to see more lists like this, don't forget to give this video a like, hit the notification bell if you want to see more videos, and subscribe. I mean, while you're here, if you made it this far, I'll see you guys in the next video.